into another NBA edition with the OG crew. Off the top, shout out my boy VC3 for becoming a member. Appreciate you. We got the full crew in attendance, and I love doing the show with y'all, man. We'll be talking out some winners, and I'm glad we're doing this show. We're keeping it going. So I'm gonna go around the horn real quick. Dutch, see you got something nice over there. How you feeling today?
Yeah, man. The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. Got that Kush cake in the plane. Hit that like button like I'm hitting this plane. It'll get you right where you need to be. Believe it. Shout out to Tasha, beautiful young lady in the building. Boofer T in the building. Good to see you. Justin J. Mack in the building. Nucky Green, all the real ones. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video if you would. The NBA, man, Medicaid Monday. It was a beautiful thing. Shout out to our boy WAM came through. We had a lot of motherfucking winners yesterday. I went 2-1. Cavs first half, full game. It was good money, man. Why'd I have to go around and have to talk, man? I was drinking that Treyway Kool-Aid. It's not the way. It's not the way. Oh, man. Trey let me down. Tough game. Shout out to everyone who was on the Clippers. I was on the Hawks, man. They almost handled business, but unfortunately came up a little short, 2-1. Like you said, Skee, it's always good to do the show with you fellas. The chat, breaking down, hearing everyone's opinions. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So I'm ready to get into black. I believe we have one of the better Tuesday cards, that we've had of late. This Tuesday is a little more appealing. I think it might be the night shift tonight. All right? It's the night shift tonight. No daytiming on a Tuesday.
Yeah, we got some good ones today for sure. I'm gonna pass it over to my guy Babano, and I feel like for the rest of the season we should just shut out Babano every single day. Make sure y'all go follow Babano at Babano Bets, his new account. We got to get him back up to where he was. So, how have you been, Babano? How's NBA been treating you?
I know it feels like I was on top of the mountain. Now I've been knocked right down to the bottom of Mount Everest, and I got to climb all the way back up again with this damn Twitter X account bullshit. But here we are. Got to build it back up from back at the bottom, trying to build it back up again. But good to be back. Good to do this show Tuesdays and Thursdays right here. The OG NBA show right here with Skee, Dutch, Wham, and yours truly. I will say this: 3-1 last night with my top sides in the NBA. Winner with Dallas. Winner with New Orleans in a blowout against Toronto, and a winner with I'm trying to think the third one. That was Cleveland. That's right, Cleveland, Dallas, and New Orleans. So 3-0, chance for 4-0. Who cost me the sweep? The fucking LA Lakers. That's who. But I'm not bitter.
Hey,
that's the third time we heard about that shit already. You sure?
I'm not bitter.
I can only laugh. I'm sorry. I don't want to laugh. You had a winning day, so I can laugh. I could be all right.
Yeah, 3-1, good.
I should have had a first half. That's the only mistake I made.
I
first half was pretty easy.
It's like
how you feeling,
man?
Oh man, I'm feeling blessed, bro. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain, bro. We doing it up, man. We, like my boy said, we did it up yesterday. Didn't get to the 20-piece with the ladder spot with Kelly Oubre. He was at 19, almost got there, but for the most part, we got the over 1.5. That was a good play that I told y'all yesterday. I gave it to my mama. I'm gonna have to leave those like that. You know what I'm saying? When I tell y'all I gave it to my mama, it's the truth. She actually called me and she asked for a play herself. So if she ever do that again, I'll tell y'all which one I gave to her again. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what the record is for that. I don't know. It's 1-0 so far. Let's see where I go after that. So yeah, man, I'm feeling good, bro. Let's got the kids running around, dropping chairs, all type of shit going on, and it's chaos, bro. We gonna win today. You already know it's gonna happen. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to KC, Boofer, man. Shout out to Justin, Jay Wills, Nets Bets, man. Tasha, you already know we love you, man. And yeah, man, my boy Babano. We got to get my dog back there. So shout out to Babano Bets. Make sure y'all follow my dog, man.
Okay, watch this. Shout out Mama Wham. He said shout out. Rose said shout out all the moms. Yeah, Wham came through with that one. And he was saying that one with his chest out. I know he was getting to the window. Raul says, remember to smash the like button and drink water. And if you guys were in the earlier show, you guys know it should be about that time now. I wanted to give you guys a second to all get in here, but I figured it out. How to get these membership giftings. So what I'll do, I'll give 5 right now. And we'll do 5 at the end of the show. How about that? So let's see who's going to get lucky right here. I can't decide who gets it, but Here we go. That should be gifting 5 in the chat. And let me switch back over here now.
Go ahead and get those.
Yeah. Make sure. I think it's something where say you opt in or something like that. So hopefully you guys can pick that up. All right, fellas, let's get started. We got 7 games on the slate for the association today, and we do have some good ones. We'll start with 571, 572. Houston heading into Indiana. Opened up Pacers -6. They're now 8.5-point favorites. Total opened up 242, and it looks like 245 right now. As far as the injury report is concerned, and let me just hit refresh real quick. For the Rockets, no Van Fleet, no Eason. For the Pacers, it looks like Jalen Smith and Halliburton are game time decision. So Pacers games, I've been coming to Babano. They were going under pretty consistently when Hallie was out. They've gone under 10 of their last 15 games. He's still on minutes restriction. So it's been a while. Like I feel like we started to see the totals for Indiana open and go down. Now we're seeing it open and go up. Can you start to get there with the Indiana over?
Yeah, I mean it's been the easiest team to really handicap for totals because it seems like no Halliburton, offense suffers, pace isn't as quick, and they don't score as much, and the game stays under. And then when he is on the floor, the pace is quicker, the offense is more efficient, and the game goes over the total. So his status definitely looms large, and right now it looks like questionable is his status for this game against Houston. Left hamstring strain injury, still managing his way through that, and he's still not even at full strength yet. I know he's appeared in 4 straight games, but they are being careful. He hasn't played more than 22 minutes of court time in any of those games. We'll see if he plays tonight. If he does play, and I actually already bet Indiana in this game, but I do like the Pacers here in this game, especially if he goes. I laid a 7. That's exactly the number I got. What Ron has in the chat was -7. It's gone up a little bit since. It kind of makes me think he is going to play tonight, if you ask me. Halliburton here for the Pacers, because the Pacers have taken money and the over's taken money. What would lead to those two things taking the money here throughout the day? Yeah, Halliburton playing. That's what. Because Halliburton playing is better for Indiana. It's better for the over as well in this game. But with this Houston team, they just haven't been good enough to me on the road. You look at these road performances, really outside of a win against Charlotte, they've not played well on the road at all. And don't be fooled by the 2-point loss at Brooklyn. They were down big in that game, and they made it close at the end. I think Brooklyn kind of fell asleep. And then they got blown out by double digits against Minnesota and New York. You look at the Pacers, they had lost 3 in a row. And then they bounced back. They beat Charlotte. I laid the big number with Indiana on Sunday against Charlotte. I thought it was a great spot for them to finally get off the schneid. They had a tough schedule. They played the Celtics, the Knicks. They had to come back home on a back-to-back and play Sacramento, which wasn't an easy spot either. So they finally got a bad team in a good spot, and Indiana beat the hell out of Charlotte in that game. I think they've got another good spot here. Day off. Rest advantage is equal. They're the better of these two teams. Houston struggled on the road. So Pacers and over for me would be the leans. I've only bet the Pacers, but I lean over as well.
All right. Babano liking that Pacers side. If you put them together, Pacers and over, that puts you what Nucky is looking at right here. Pacers team total. So I guess that means Babano would lean towards that way. He's looking specifically at the first half in the chat. And shout out to King's Caliber becoming a member there. I want to come to you next year, Wham Bam. I see you in the chat. And actually, it was one more thing here. King's Cap. One more thing here is you. My bad. You said 41 million hasn't playing. So,
yeah.
Do you think the Pacers should be favored by this much with the minutes restriction for Halliburton? Can you get to the window with them? And I'm gonna say this first because I just gotta say I'm leaning a little bit towards the other side, man. Rockets been playing some better defense. If you can't play defense, you know how I think. I'm not laying. Can you lay Pacers?
That's the thing. They haven't been able to play that much defense. They've given up 60 points in the first half over the last 5 games. Without Halliburton being really like he is restricted, and they're staggering those 22 minutes that they're limiting him at. He had 20 minutes the last game. When he first got the minutes restriction, I was on the 10.5 assists. He got the 10 assists. I was thinking that maybe that was a outlier, but ever since then he hasn't even reached 6 assists. But it's I think it's a assist total right now is at 6.5. It's interesting to see it at 6.5, juice to the over, because I'm thinking that Halliburton might be able to get to that 10 assists here because they're you know, this is a game that I feel like he has the good chance to play in really well. But that 41 million, man, I think they play him on his minutes restriction for that reason. You normally see them hold a guy out, right? Before this 65 game rule put in, and I put the 41 million in the chat because there's incentives if he makes the all team NBA or some sort of that nature, and he'll get a crazy pay increase of 41 million. So obviously there's incentives of him playing today. Obviously that going in there, I think that has them incentivizing them to staggering out his minutes, having it 22 minutes and all that shit as well. So it's kind of tricky to see this number being this number. And like you said, this team has been playing pretty good defensively, bro. Like, and I like the coach, bro. I mean, pause. You know what I'm saying? I like Udoka though, bro. Like, he definitely brings a certain type of like a level of toughness that the team just mirrors every team that he has. Even if they have bitch ass players like the damn Boston Celtics, they still mirrored some of his tendencies there. And you see it really clear with this Houston Rockets team. I don't like that they don't have Fred VanVleet and Eason, but they haven't had Eason at all. And I think without Fred VanVleet, it just means that there's going to be a lot more Jalen Green. And I think Jalen Green is a good enough player to play up right now. And I like the way he's been playing as of the last month. So I agree with you though, Skee. I think this is a good Rocket spot. I wanted to take Tyrese Halliburton, but I'm too scared, bro. I think that that juiced up to the 6.5. I think a lot of people think he's gonna play a little bit more than 20 minutes or something like that. Maybe even 25 minutes on the accident type shit. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna stay away from the Pacers. I agree with you. I think this number is too much. And if I'm taking anything, it's gonna be the Rockets.
All right, I gotta come to you here, Dutch. I know you'll jump at a spot to go against Hallie if you can. Although you did give him some respect though. So how you feeling about this one? Is it Hallie? Is it the Rockets?
You know, that motherfucker keep with them outfits, them pregame outfits, trying to look like a character from Scooby-Doo and shit. Hey, I might have to start knocking him again, though. Especially if he's only gonna be playing this many minutes, god damn it. Hey, but get your money, Hallie. Get your motherfucking money, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Nets Bets in the chat. I see my dude looking maybe towards the Pacers. Nothing really for me here, man. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. Shout out to Marcus McCarthy. I see you, my dude. Why would you want to bet the Rockets here, though? Okay, they lost 8 motherfucking straight time, and I'm talking to you, Skee, and Wham Bam. Come on, man. Why you want to bet the motherfucking bullshit Rockets? They've lost 8 straight to the Indiana Pacers. They're 5-17 on the motherfucking road this year. I mean, they just go on the road, and it's goddamn near auto L. You know, I mean, and then we want to talk against the number 8-13-1 against the number on the road. Man, fuck the Houston Rockets on the road. I agree with Skee to the point that it's hard to lay this number with Indiana because they really don't stop nobody. I mean, us 3 and 2 bums, we getting a hundo against these motherfuckers. But at the same damn time, Houston Rockets on the road, forget about
it. I'm not running to the window to bet them for sure. But it's just if I got to pick, that's the side that I prefer.
You're doing the wobbling your ass to the motherfucking window with the Rockets on the road.
I might end up staying away from that one, but we'll see.
That said everything I was gonna say.
Netbet says Dust the man. Ray Veron says let him know.
You're gonna be holding your breath.
All right, we'll move over to 573, 574. Dallas, Brooklyn opened up Mavs -2 up to Mavs -4. Total open 233.5, and it looked like 236.5 now. Luka and Kyrie both game time decision, but Kyrie is probable. It is his return to Brooklyn. Exum and Lively are out. Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, Sharp, Lonnie Walker, all out for the Nets. So in these Mavs games, I like to go back to Dutch here. Luka, I feel like he's going to play. He's not going to let Kyrie down in his return back to Brooklyn. Do you think they care about this to beat them by margin? I mean, it's not that much. It's 5 points. How you feeling about Mavs versus Nets?
Yeah, man. This game yesterday, I thought like people maybe overthought a little bit yesterday. Kyrie, Luka, they lost 2 games, and people were making cases for Philly, and I stayed off of the Mavericks yesterday, and obviously I missed out on money. I mean, that was a clear win for the Mavericks, especially in that second half. Man, I just look at this team, man, and it's like when I look at Brooklyn, it's like they're so night and day. When I watch them, sometimes it's like they don't share the ball, they don't do nothing right, and then I watch them, and it's like this guy Bridges don't miss, Cam Thomas makes every fucking shot. Cam Johnson is knocking them down. It's like, what version of the Brooklyn Nets are we going to get? We got a version of the Brooklyn Nets for about a month and a half that was straight auto fade, and then it was up about 2 weeks ago. It was very easy to see that they were checked the fuck out. Now we've seen them show up here and there, and obviously Ben Simmons coming back in the lineup. I believe he's going to go today. He gives them a little bit of juice, man. He obviously makes them better from a defensive end. And say what you will about the motherfucker, he sees the floor well, so he gets others involved. So others get more involved. Obviously, you're going to get more of a team effort when you have players like that on the court. But it's Dallas or nothing for me here. Tough, they kind of went on cruise control in that second half. I believe the Kyrie factor is pretty big here. But man, Dallas has not been playing good basketball. Outside of last night, this team has been probably the most tiltingest team to fucking bet on. When you're up by 25, 20 plus in a game, and you don't even cover when you're a dog, at the end of the day, you lose outright and don't even cover as dogs. It's pretty frustrating, but you know what it is. It's Luka. He should be able to get whatever he wants on this team. Kyrie obviously is going to go into Brooklyn. They kind of shitted on him there, that Jewish factor going in. I would think that he definitely cares about the way Brooklyn kind of, made him sit out for during this shit. I mean, Kyrie was quite a fucking spectrum in the Brooklyn uniform, especially towards the end. So he kind of got shitted on there. So I would expect it to be Dallas tonight. I really would. Haven't went to the window yet. This was one of those ones where I wanted to talk out with you guys. It almost seems too easy, though. It really does. It almost seems too easy. Some fugaziness. So if we can fade the fugaziness, maybe we load up on Luka the motherfucking Don, Kyrie, and the boys tonight.
Man, I like a lot of what you're saying. Maybe Kyrie's points are just to play in this matchup.
He looked nice last night. God damn.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Both teams on the back-to-back here.
Yeah, 8 assists.
I want to come to you, Bobano. Both teams on the back-to-back. Can you get there with maybe Kyrie points? And also, my thought process is when you're tired, first thing to go is defense. Both teams on the back-to-back, wanting to have a performance versus old team, maybe the over as well.
I like the over more than the side. I do like the over. I think it can get there. It's kind of been an over history with the Nets and the Mavericks head to head. The 3 of the last 4 meetings have gone over the total. I cashed a ticket with Dallas last night. I just think Philadelphia is a good fade team right now without Embiid. They're still trying to find their footing without him. They got steamrolled by this Brooklyn team on Saturday. Brooklyn went into Philadelphia and beat them. But last night, Brooklyn could not get the job done against Golden State, a Golden State team that had Thompson benched, of course, down the stretch of that game last night. But give Golden State credit for that. They are starting to play a little bit better. Ben Simmons, with him on the floor for Brooklyn, they've been better with him. Defensively, that's certainly been the case. We'll see if that can continue tonight. But it's not going to be easy, especially if both Luka and Kyrie play. Luka's questionable. Not only has he been battling through ankle injuries, the back, and other things, now he's got the nasal injury, the nose injury as well to deal with going into this game. So that's why his status is questionable. But, if you ask me, I think he's going to try to play through it. Kyrie's good to go. And Kyrie had missed 3 or 4 or 5 games in a row, came back last night for Dallas against Philly, scored 23 points in only 35 minutes. You got to think there's a good chance he's going to play a lot more than that here tonight. He's going to be amped up to play Brooklyn tonight, his old team. And there's been an angle. I've actually seen this angle appear a lot the last few days with players going back to face their old team for the first time. I don't think I could cash an easier one with Bradley Beal on Sunday for the Phoenix Suns against Washington. What do you have, 20 fucking points in the first quarter? More than that? That was as easy as it gets with that. And it kind of feels that way for me here with Kyrie Irving tonight going back to Brooklyn. So I do like over 25.5 points. I like that bet a lot more than I like taking Dallas here, -3.5, -4. Go and look at Dallas off a win lately. The last time they've won 2 in a row was like over a month ago. This has not been a team that has put wins together. It's not been a team that's been very good off a win. The last 4 tries off a win for Dallas, 0-4 straight up, 0-4 against the spread. So the Dallas Mavericks have not done a good job at all putting good performances together. And that scares me, here a little bit, asking to lay 4 points now on the road with the Mavericks. They just haven't been good putting good games together. So for me, I'm staying off the Dallas side. I'm not on the Brooklyn side either, but I'm going to go over the total, and I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving over 25.5 points.
Good stuff. I think I like that Kyrie points. I might have to get to the window with that as well. Wham Bam, is that something that you're looking at, or how are you approaching Mavs versus Nets?
Yeah, I was thinking Luka probably was going to miss today. So taking Kyrie PRA was the way I was thinking there. I want to ladder that up all the way up to 40 on the PRA because I was expecting him to, come out and score, of course. But what he showed for us the last game, he was diming the ball, got the 8 assists there. So I'm thinking that maybe even without Luka is in the lineup, if he is in the lineup, or even if he is in the lineup, I think he's still, like you said, Skee, doesn't let him down on the return and allows him to cook. Like, you know what I'm saying? Allow him to get it off. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those moments, like, as far as being a good teammate, he got a good opportunity to let it be Kyrie's day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's no reason for Luka to even try to be dominant here, kind of be like a decoy. He could be leading up like it'd be a decoy today. So I like Kyrie. I haven't bet this yet either, but this is definitely the only way I was thinking is, and I think we all consensus here. So I'm definitely going to play this play. Starting off with the 25.5 points with Babano, and then just taking that to 30. I think Kyrie has a big game today, get 30 piece, and maybe able to get some assists, enough assists and rebounds to get us to 40 on the PRA. So I like all three of those.
All right. I'm in agreement. I think Kyrie's a good play today. Probably will go get to the window after this show. Let's keep moving down the list. Next game up.
Real quick, Skee, before we move on, I gotta say, just about this because it's about both things. First of all, shout out to Tachi with that stat 8-0 Ben Simmons. The Nets are 8-0 with Ben Simmons in the lineup. I believe he said they hit the team total every time, as well. But back to this, hey man, is it true if the Mavericks can really get Bobby Portis for Grant Williams? I mean, they need to make that shit happen ASAP. I mean, what the fuck is Milwaukee thinking? What can you really believe in this type of shit? But at the end of the day, man, Bobby Portis for Grant Williams. I mean, god damn, that would be a great trade for the Dallas Mavericks. I would do that immediately if you could. I just had to touch on that.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah,
575, 576. Memphis and New York opened up Knicks minus 13. They're now 14.5 point favorites. Total opened up 217.5, and it keeps going down. It's down as low as 211.5. Injury report for the Knicks: OG, Quentin Grimes, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson out. For the Grizzlies, I mean, we just shouldn't even go there. We shouldn't even go there. I'm gonna
just say 90% of the team out. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, 90% of the team out. I'm gonna come to you here on this one, Wham Bam. I talked about this game earlier, and for as good as the Knicks have been since they made this trade, I just think this is a little bit too much to be expecting them, like, to give them a point spread of 14.5. They've been good versus the bums all year too, but now they're without OG, and this is, they're looking at guys on the other side that they might not even know. They don't even know their names over there. So I feel like you're not gonna get the effort from New York in this game. Meanwhile, all Memphis has been doing is giving effort. Like I said, all of those guys, two-way guys, 10-day guys, this is what they've been waiting for. So they're gonna give it everything. They're playing defense. They got blown out. I want to open it up before I pass to you, Wham Bam. They got blown out in the last game versus Celtics, and I'm not mad at it because, I mean, Celtics, for one, they were at a rest disadvantage, the Grizzlies, and the Celtics are the best team in the East, and the Celtics were off of a loss, and the Celtics have told us that they care tremendously about playing good at home. So I'm not mad at that. They're just completely outmatched versus a really pissed off team. The game before, they were on the back-to-back versus a Hungry Warriors team. So shorthanded on a back-to-back. I'm not mad at either one of those games. all the 6 games before, they covered. They covered 6 out of the last 8. So if you look at their last 8 games, they're still a top 10 defensive rated team. I think that's how they stay in this game. You see the total keep dropping. They're giving us a hell of a lot of points. It's not only going to be New York playing that defense tonight. I think the Grizz keep it respectable. So Wham Bam, how do you feel about the Grizzlies and the Knicks?
Yeah, I think you're right on point. I think they may even get some of those guys back. Conchar might come back. Derrick Rose might even come back. They just announced Jericho Sims out, another big body loss for the Knicks, man. Like, you know, they losing out big bodies down low. Don't seem too good to cover out the big spread that they, like you said, they don't know who the hell these guys are. Why would they even care about winning by 15 points? As long as they win by 2 to 3 points, they don't give a damn. I don't think they care too much about winning by this margin. This is one of those dirty games that my boy like to I'm called cap the capper, man. If I wasn't lacking this game, which I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm capping the capper. I'm thinking this is definitely a good spot here. And Memphis may be, you know what I mean, one of the dirtiest, but I think this is definitely a good spot for him. So I agree with you, brother. I'm only going to think 14.5 is way too many plus points, especially like they just announced right now, like Jericho Sims is out. Another loss there for the New York, for them to not even care about this game, knowing that this probably is going to be a penciled in win, free stats for these guys on the other side. So I like Memphis a lot there. And I do think that some of these guys has been playing pretty good on Memphis side, just sneaky. And now we talked about it a little bit. Scottie Pippen Jr., I like the way he's been playing, you know, just as far as his aggressiveness here. So, you know, just another opportunity to play, especially in New York, man. Some of these kids is happy as hell they get to play in Madison Square Garden. It's their opportunity, bro. Don't stop that. You know what I mean? And 14.5, like I said, this is a kid's dream, bro. So I definitely agree with you, bro.
Before I pass it on over, because I know he can't wait, but Daryl, I don't choose who the memberships go to. I gave away 5 earlier, and there will be 5 more at the end of the show. So just stick around. Dutch can't wait, Raul. There's levels to this. And he said the Grizzlies. Tell us why you like the Knicks, Dutch.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Sweaty Butcher, Mr. Exotic. I see you, my dude. I like that little 2-piece you put together. Yeah, man. This to me, I definitely am not fucking with the Grizzlies. But I will say this. This is more appealing to me than them bummy ass Rockets. I will say. But this is I do agree with you about, you know, the Grizzlies show up. They got a G League team. These motherfuckers gonna bring their lunch pail for 48 minutes. All of them outplay. But New York is the same damn team. The only problem is they got a lot more talent. You know what I mean? They got a lot more talent because New York's a team that plays for 48 minutes as well. And they're coming off a loss where they got punked by the Lakers, man. I mean, you got LBJ doing the goddamn thing, rocking the New York towel after the goddamn game. Come on, man. Tips gonna have these boys ready to go. I know it's only 113-105, but that fourth quarter, man. I mean, the way AD was getting these boys, like, I mean,
king of the city, and I'm loving it. Used to run from.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Someone trying to get this copyright.
Oh no, that was crazy. My hand, you see where my hands are. But yeah, I literally lost train of thought because I was like, wait, what the fuck's going on?
You
got a music interlude there. Yeah.
No, yeah, the Grizzlies though, man, like it's a lot of points. It's 2 touchdowns and the hooker, okay? But LBJ and these boys just broke their 9-game win streak. And you know the Lakers, man. Come on. The last team you want to lose to is the Lakers, especially on your home court, especially after you've been busting ass. I mean, cover 7 out of 8, 1 9 out of 10. I mean, it's a Knickerbockers get right spot in my opinion. But 14.5, I can understand where you can make a case for the Grizzlies. But don't be surprised if they down 25 in the third, bro. Don't be surprised. But I'll root for that that 14.5. But Knicks off a loss. You see 13-4 against the spread. Good start there. And they are, I believe, 19-0 against teams under 500 this year. They have not lost to a team under 500. Skee started off his breakdown by saying they put it on bummy ass teams. So I don't know the number against the spread, to be quite honest with you, but I know they have not lost to a team under 500. They take advantage of the bummy motherfuckers. So usually they would handle business here. But yeah, 14.5 is an awful lot in any NBA game, in any basketball game. You know?
I love to say loss on any show, bro. want to say that.
Off a loss. I gotta come to Babano here. Shout out to Razor too. Razor in the chat says, shout out to everyone. What up, fellas? Appreciate you tuning in.
Hey,
Nice
Razor hit
hit
him
yesterday.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I seen it. He went crazy, man. We know he killing ponies over
21K.
there.
Holy shit. Yeah.
21K in the motherfucking ponies, boy.
Make sure y'all checking my boy out, man. He doing it every day, showing y'all how to get paid on the ponies. So check my guy Razor out. Shout out to you.
Make me want to be a pony boy.
Yep.
Babano, they said that was you.
Pony.
They said it was you bumping unreleased tracks there, Babano.
No.
Yeah, he got the records and shit.
I bumped better shit than that. I don't know what that was. I'll find better stuff to play than that, whatever that was. Didn't sound too good to me.
That did sound like some ski shit. I ain't gonna lie though.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I got a question for you.
Hey, that was me. I don't know what the hell that shit came from though. I'm like,
I don't know.
I got my fucking headphones right here, and I'm like, there's something
being sabotaged right now. Yeah,
I got sabotaged. I definitely got sabotaged, bro.
You didn't like what you was talking about, Dutch. That's what it was.
Nah, it wasn't me. You know, I wasn't doing that on purpose. Shout out to my dog Razor though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You called this out when they made the trade, and you see the record. Are you continuing to go with it, or is there any reason to go the other direction?
No, well, as far as the total, of course not. I mean, the unders have been absolutely spectacular. And look, OG Anunoby's been out, as well these last few games, and they're still going under the total, the New York Knicks. So it's been an unbelievable run as far as the totals. But now we're getting down to the 212. It's getting to that point now where they've made quite a significant adjustment. Most of these totals were 220s with New York, and all the way down to 212 now in this game. So it's just a question of value. But I'm certainly not betting over right now with New York in this game. Here's the thing with Memphis. They've been covering numbers lately in this role, but at what point is enough? At one point now, is it just too many fucking injuries? They just can't overcome it anymore. I mean, this is insane. Zaire Williams, Marcus Smart, LaRavia, Brandon Clark, Desmond Bain, Xavier Tillman. Now Jaren Jackson's a game-time decision. Actually, he's out, for sure. Doubtful. And that's the one guy that was healthy for a majority of that point spread run they just put together. Conchar, Aldama's a game-time decision. Vince Williams may not play. I mean, Gilliard, Kennard, and Roddy, and you got like 3 or 4 other available players on this entire roster right now. You're scraping at the bottom of the barrel right now if you're Memphis. I just can't back them. And it looks like they're hitting a wall. Finally, they're getting to the point where we just can't compete anymore. We're playing hard, but playing hard alone is not enough. And we're seeing that the last 2 games. Golden State beat them by 20. Boston eviscerated them by 40 in the last game. I cashed a few with Memphis there when at least they had Jaren Jackson still on the floor. Now with he's out, see you later, Memphis. I can't back this team. I won't back this team. And if anything, I think New York, if they're even a little bit interested after the loss against the Lakers, which I know they weren't happy about, they could absolutely win by 20, I think, tonight. So I do have a small bet on the Knicks here, laying the big number.
You know what happens when they see the star players out?
Yeah.
We'll see how much interest the Knicks have in tonight's game. So Babano and Skee a little head-to-head tonight. We'll move on over to 577, 578. That's the Orlando Magic and Miami Heat. Opened up Heat minus 3.5. They're 3-point favorites. Total open 213.5. Still sitting right there. And for the injury report on this game, you have nobody on it for the Magic. And then you have Duncan Robinson, very likely to play. So who do I come to for the Heat and Magic? I got to come to Wham Bam for this one. I know Wham Bam loves back in Paolo. Are you looking towards his direction in this game? I mean, this is a big game for the Heat, especially because they're down in the series 2-1. So would you be looking in player props, maybe Paolo, or how do you see this game playing out?
I actually think this is going to be a real tough game, maybe even like a playoff. I think it's a lot of playoff style type games that we're going to be watching tonight. I think it's going to be a real, grit and grind type games. And this is a game that I do think it is grit and grind. It is starting to creep a little towards the over here. I think it's 213.5 I'm seeing right now. I like this first half under, man. As far as the Heat, they've been trending towards the first half under 2 of the last 2 of the last 10 first halves has only went over. So they've been trending towards the under in that direction. And I think that this this Magic team is just one of the better teams in the first half at holding opponents to points to lower the points in the first half here. So I like this to kind of be a back and forth playoff style type of game. I think that this under is the way to go. So I did take this right now as we talking about it, 109.5. I think this is the play that I'm just going to lock in with all the way here. Because as far as the whole card, everything that I liked, the only thing that stood out to me was this under. And I think that this team, being like, not even like that they're in the same division and having that division rivalry type thing going on. I just think that this is a good opportunity for the Magic to play all the way up here. And I do think that the Heat, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Heat are kind of sneaky here. I think the Heat can win this game, but I think it's gonna be a grit and grind game. I do know that Apollo is gonna show up today, along with France being back. I do like Franz Wagner being back, help him out on the offensive side of the ball. That may not be good for the offense that you would think here, but I think this is going to be a good matchup both ways. Both teams have good players back and forth that they're going to be matching up really well. I like JJJ on the other side, and I do like, Paulo, of course. So I think the under is the only way I'm going to go here, though, as far as any props. If I do take anything, I'll tweet that out. But right now, 109.5 is what I'm going to go with the under. And I like Paulo too, but I haven't really locked in too much since Frank's been back. I want to stay away from props just because I want to see a little bit more, a little bit more consistency from the market. It's kind of a little bit over the place because he's been back.
Raul, who? Jaime, who? Jaime Jaquez, man, not Vasquez.
Jaquez. Yeah, I was gonna say, whoa.
Whoa.
Jaime Grievous Vasquez. That's who you're
That's that
thinking
shit,
of.
Robert.
Yeah. Remember Grievous Vasquez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. He's like, I'll just give him my last name. Fuck it.
Hey, Urbano, I want to ask you on this one. This is a really important game for the Heat. Both teams, I mean, the last couple times they played, there was a comment in here before I even passed to you. It said, here it is, the Cheshire Cat. Do basketball games go under 212 anymore? I mean, last two times they played, they didn't even touch 200. And these teams are separated by one game. Seeds 6 through 8 are separated by 1.5 games. It could be something that, matters at the end of the season. Do you see Miami taking advantage and tying it up? Do you see it being a slower defensive type of game because it's important?
Yeah, I think for Miami, you're starting to see. Well, first of all, Miami's not shooting the ball really all that well lately, and they're not scoring a ton. Like, what's been their highest point total? 110 in their last 10 games, and they did that twice. Every other game below that, they've had half of their last 10 games that they haven't even hit 100 points. So it's not like this Miami team is lighting it up right now. Now, they have had some injuries. Hero's been in and out, but it looks like Hero is back tonight, although Rozier still hasn't really hit his stride yet since they got him from Charlotte either. But, yeah, it's just not an offensive team that's lighting it up right now. And even though they've got Hero back, you're trying to get this, starting five to get some chemistry, and they just haven't been on the floor together and on the court together long enough, I think, to develop that rhythm just yet. So I'd have personally a difficult time taking over here. Last two meetings have gone under this total. Miami, 4 straight unders in their last 4 games. Orlando's one of those teams lately. They could go either way. They can play a high-scoring game, get up and down if the opponent dictates pace, and they don't mind playing in the half court, relying on their defense either. They've had a nice mix of overs and unders the last 10 games. So for me, the total, I lean under, but I like Orlando here. You're going to give me 3 with this team. I like the way they're playing. They've won 3 straight. They've covered 5 straight. And they beat some good teams during this stretch as well. They beat Phoenix 113-98. That was a very impressive win considering what the Suns have done lately. And then they went into Minnesota, 7-point dogs last Friday, beat Minnesota 108-106 in Minnesota. A great Timberwolves team. We know how great they are on their home floor. This Orlando team just continues to, people expecting them, I think, to kind of fall off and decline. And It just hasn't happened. They're 27-23. I think they're going to be a postseason team. And right now, I just like the way this team at both ends of the floor. I think right now, offensively, they're better than Miami at this point in time. So I like Orlando getting points. I think wrong team favored here, quite honestly. I think Orlando's the better of these sides right now. I'll take gladly 3 points in my back pocket with the Magic.
Magic for Babano. And if 1 + 1 = 2, with how they've been playing lately, Magic should take care of business. Dutch, do you see it that way? Or you think the Heat are coming to play today?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chillest. I see you, my dude. Sharon in the chat. I see you. Man, all due respect, Obano. Man, fuck the Orlando Magic tonight, man. Believe that, man. Hey, it's Heat culture. It's the Heatles. It's the Heatles, man. Tonight they're gonna get right. Orlando beat them, man. Come on, 2 weeks ago by 18 in Orlando. By 18. Prior to that, Miami beat them 3 straight times, 5 out of the last 6. Not to mention, whenever Orlando hits South Beach, it's only about an hour and a half down to the turnpike, and they have lost 8 straight in Miami. They will call it 9 straight tonight. Miami handles business. I like what I've seen in the chat. Some people like in Orlando, some good stats in the chat backing Miami. I know Orlando continues to cover Orlando. I knew you were going to be on the Magic here, Bobano. I understand it. They have still covered 5 out of the last 6, but this is a Heat spot right here. They just lose at home to the Clippers in a tough battle. Came back in that fourth quarter. Oh, my Mr. Hero, Tyler Hero's fucking migraine isn't too bad tonight, so he'll be able to play basketball. Duncan Robinson will be out there. Knock down the open fucking perimeter jump shots. Get it inside the Bam. Jimmy Butler is the best player on the court. Banchero's the man child, but come on, man. This is easy money right here, in my opinion. Miami Heat -3. I'm all over it, man. It's good money.
They've had a lot of duds at home. Lost to Memphis at home as favorite.
A lot of money with Miami. Can I win tonight, please? God damn it.
Yeah. They've had a lot of duds against teams much worse than Orlando. We'll see.
They look good against Sacramento, and then they went and handle business, and then they lose, obviously on Sunday at home to the Clippers. So get right spot here, but I see where you're coming from. I get you.
They showed our guy Pat Riley in the crowd on the Sunday night game against the Clippers on ESPN when that game started to get away from them, and he had this facial expression like he was staring into space, like, what the fuck am I watching here? This Miami team. He's probably thinking of what trade he's going to make.
He's always thinking about making a move. Yeah, Pat Riley is cutthroat. He's cutthroat. But Jimmy Butler ain't going nowhere.
The chat was loving what you had to say there, Dutch. I think they're liking the Miami side a little bit more. So we'll see how it shakes out. We got 3 games left.
You on this game? You on this game, Skee? Because you keep saying, well, it's a good spot for Miami. You like Miami here, or what? You think?
I didn't bet them.
Or what were you saying? You're saying it's a big game for Miami.
It's a big game for both teams. Bigger game for Miami. Big game for both teams, in my opinion. I like the under. I think the total's low for a reason.
Yeah,
neither team playing with pace, and the last 2 times they played, they didn't even reach 200. This game is important. Like I said, they both have been playing under 11 of the last 13 for Miami. Under 10 of the last 15 for Orlando. This is an under spot.
Yeah, I'm on the under too, but I think I would lean bullet to my head, you know what I'm saying? Gun to my head. I would say Miami here. I would think they get it done, but it's a tough game though. So I'm not sure if it's a cover.
This is a Miami spot, but I know there's been some Miami spots and they shit the bed. A few weeks ago when they like Memphis, like Atlanta, it was Miami spots in those games too. And Atlanta went into that place and beat them. So I can't trust them. And I like Orlando's. Orlando 10-2 ATS is a road dog, by the way, in their last 12.
Cases for both sides.
Yep.
We'll go over to 579, 580. T-Wolves Bulls opened up Wolves -5.5. We're not seeing movement. Still 5.5. Total open 216.5, and it looks like 217 for the injury report. Clark is out, and then for the Bulls, they're without Williams. Looks like Caruso, White, Terry, and Craig are all game time decision here. I feel like it's right that I go back to Babano because he's the Timberwolves guy, and we try not to talk about the tattoo too much. But it bothers me. It bothers me that this line is not moving because Minnesota, ever since that Charlotte game, said that they were going to focus. They're going to bring it defensively, which they have. 6 out of 7 games have gone under. And And I think 6 out of 7 of their opponents have stayed under their team total. So they've held up their end of saying they're going to play defense. And some of those games have even been on the road. But why is this? I feel like Minnesota's a lot better than Chicago. And I don't know. I feel like they're begging me to take Minnesota. And I don't like when people are begging me. I feel like they're begging me to take anything. So, Babano, how do you feel about the Wolves versus the Bulls?
Well, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm choosing to bet Minnesota here in this one against Chicago. I do think the line is very cheap. It is. Minnesota, they played, other than the loss to Orlando, who again continues to get, in my opinion, disrespected, but, they lost that game to the Magic. Other than that, they beat Dallas, crushed Houston in their last game. They went on the road against Oklahoma City, great Thunder team in that matchup of two of the best teams in the West, and they won 107-101. Their road record has been better than it was earlier in the season. They're still, a little bit better at home, but early in the season, they weren't winning and covering on the road. And now here they are, they're starting, to play better basketball, win games, cover numbers away from home. I think you might be able to see that continue here tonight in this matchup against the Bulls. To me, you start to look at Chicago's body of work here in the new year. You look at these victories. Look at the teams they've beaten. Charlotte, awful. Portland, terrible. Toronto, terrible. San Antonio, terrible. Memphis, with obviously a downtrodden, injury-riddled team. I mean, those are the last 5 wins they've had. Not a single quality win in the bunch, for the Chicago Bulls. Now I'm going to trust them here, albeit at home, getting just 5 points against a team that, I think at both ends of the floor, they're thriving offensively, defensively. They're also fully healthy for the most part, other than Jalen Clark for Minnesota. Is a much healthier team. Meanwhile, for Chicago, you got Patrick Williams out. You got Caruso game time decision, Kobe White game time decision. You got a lot more concerns there about who's going to suit up tonight for the Chicago Bulls. So to me, it does look cheap. To me, it does. So I like Minnesota here, laying the 5.5. I actually think the total's a little light here in this game. Now, you look at Chicago. They've kind of gone over again the last 2 games against Charlotte and Sacramento. Their offense was solid, but their defense kind of took a step back in both of those games. I mean, right now, giving up 110 points to Charlotte, giving up more than 100 points to Charlotte right now is not good defense because of what Charlotte is from an injury standpoint. So I think this total is just a little bit light. I would play it over, but even more than that, I like Mini plus minus the 5.5, depending on what you can get.
Babano rolling with his guys, those T-Wolves. Dutchy. I don't know what to do with this game. I thought first I'll go maybe Bulls team total under because Wolves have been playing great defense. But I don't know. I just get a bad feeling about this game. Can you help push me one way or the other?
I really can't on this one, man. Shout out to our guy, Mr. Trifecta Nassinate in the building. Top set in the building. Bring them Miami vibes. Top set. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Hey, I didn't think we'd see this guy again catchy slipping, after losing, 20K on them Celtics last week. Atachi wasn't letting them slide. We understand on that shit, God damn it. I guess it wasn't so guaranteed to win 1,400, I believe it was 20K to win 14. Hey, that's some funny shit. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's the moral of the story. Don't do that. This is a tough game for me, man. I pretty much co-sign everything Bobano said. I mean, there's levels to the shit. If Minnesota's locked in, ready to play basketball, they should run these boys out the building. Chicago does find a way to cover basketball games, though. They're kind of like the Orlando Magic a little bit in a way that they just kind of, you look, you're like, damn, these motherfuckers cover basketball games. But I'm off this game, man. I would not bet this game. I just think it's Minnesota or nothing, though.
That said many are pass, and people not giving somebody a pass today out there in the chat. Wham bam. Wham bam. How you feeling about this Wolves versus I don't forgot now. Wolves versus Bulls.
Yeah, shout out to Tachi, man. Golly, but they on you, bro. But yeah, man, this game is definitely tricky, and you said it, bro. They are kind of like baiting you to take this T-Wolves spot with some uncertainty on the injury report. some uncertainty about this team, period, man. We seen what Jack Levine did the fast one on him. We was about to trade his ass to Detroit. I'm taking surgery. And then what they're going to do, they're just going to get rid of Alex Caruso for nothing. It just seemed like they kind of had a fork in the road with this Bulls team. Best thing that's going on for him is Kobe White, and he's questionable here. So, yeah, man, this game is tricky as fuck. I was thinking first half with the Bulls because they are 4-1 at the house over the last 5 games in the first half. This team in Minnesota, they're 4-1 on the road, 7-3 on the road the last 10 in the first half. Kind of want to go Bulls still in the first half, though. I think that this could be a good spot for them to be able to just catch these guys off guard. I know that the defense has been all the way up there with T-Wolves. I think they've been under every game since 2000, since the 24th of January, besides the Orlando game, and I was like barely went over. So they've been definitely doing their defensive part there. And I know, like you said, Skee, they've been playing a little bit better defense with the Bulls there, but it's just a little tricky here for this Bulls backing here. I'm not gonna lie, just because I think Kobe White is he might be in here. He might be in. I think a lot of these guys might be. You know, some of these guys need to get traded. They need to figure out what they're doing there with the Bulls. The time is ticking, man. This is a terrible spot for them to be in as far as the franchise. So I definitely think it's an audition day for sure for some of these players here as well. So I kind of lean Bulls first half here. I just think it's a little sneaky for them, but that's like a gun to my head. I don't really have nothing on it at all.
All right, we'll keep moving. We got 2 more games to get through here, and we're looking at OKC and Utah. Opened up Thunder -3, still sitting at -3. Total opened up 243 and is down to 238 and a half, depending where you shop. Injury report: Abaji is game time decision for the Jazz. Bertans, Jang, Mitchich, Wallace, Waters, and both Jalen Williams game time decision. Isaiah Joe out for OKC. I'll come to you here on this one, Dutch. OKC is coming off a double overtime game, but they are a young team. Maybe it doesn't bother them. They at least got 1 day's rest. The Raptors have to do it on the back-to-back last night. The Jazz, they've been extremely good at home. They are 10-4 as a home dog so far this season, but everybody likes the Jazz. And, you know, when that usually happens, we got guys like Razor coming here and says, Thunder going to do damage. So I'm curious to see how you feel about it. Who's getting to the window tonight, Thunder or Jazz?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our boy Razor Sharp Picks with the do damage. If you don't know what the do damage mean, that means it's the trifecta, man. It's pretty much Smack City. Shout out to our boy Jay Money. First quarter, first half, in full motherfucking game. He's a Thunder buddy tonight. I could only really go that way, to be quite honest with you. You know, I'm a fan of the take note, especially at the crib. Utah could definitely put the ball in the bucket. But what I look here is this, man. I know KC with a double time loss, but there's levels to this shit. And the Thunder have just been on another motherfucking level than the Utah Jazz. It's big brother, little brother type shit, really. I mean, 5 straight. They covered in 3 straight. Last 3, average margin to win 12 points per game. I mean, they're up by 8 at halftime. Average margin is 8 in the first half. So, I mean, it kind of pretty much backs. They're shooting right under 50% in those matchups. They pretty much get whatever they want against the Utah Jazz. I can't help but look to the over here. They went well over this number earlier. I know you guys are more of the total guy, but I don't see how we don't hit 250 here. You know, they should be up and down the court. I'm a big fan of watching the Thunder play. They have a tendency too of just trying to get in outscore you mode. They didn't have Lou Dort last time they played, and they still smacked him. Obviously, he'll be back tonight. They're pretty healthy as well. They were going through a little bit of injuries when they had played them. I just think, I could only really look Razor's way. I like the over 2 in this game, as I mentioned, but it's hard to bet against Utah. They are the best team at the house against the number this year. But I do lean towards the Thunder here. I just think they're just a better basketball team. I mean, from all aspects, to be quite honest with you.
I'll come to you on this one, Wham Bam. Do you feel the same? You think it's level to this shit? The Thunder are the better team. They're going to get the job done? Or are you rolling with the home squad?
There's levels to this shit, man. There's levels. I feel like I got Meek Mill just playing in my head. I'm not gonna play the music though. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not gonna do that again. Terrible.
Please don't play Meek Mill.
Don't do that again. Golly. So this team is so stacked, bro. Man, I'm not worried about them having these guys out. This is definitely got some big bodies with the Williams brothers out there, Jalen Williams out, and those guys. Well, not necessarily out, but just questionable there. Nothing really at all for the Jazz, besides Abaji being questionable. So they're all the way good to go. Yeah, man, this is a Jazz team, bro, that I just don't know how to call it, bro. I don't know how to call it. I don't know what the fuck I want to do with this damn team. Some days they want to show all the way up and play up. This is a game that they should play up because, like you said, this is little brother, big brother. Little brother don't want to get beat up at their house, at least. I wouldn't think, you know what I'm saying? So I would expect the little brother to try to fight back, you know what I'm saying? But this is a definitely consistent based type team. They've been killing on the defensive side of the ball. Allowed opponents 111 over the last 3 games, 112 for the season. Very consistent there. This team is not as consistent, but they still, trying to play shooting ball with the Jazz there. So I think it's more so slow pace, obviously, with the Thunder. And even though they are probably going to, probably are going to put up their points as well. I just think that they're going to be able to limit them a little bit more. So I like the Thunder here too. I think that Razor might be right on point there. Oklahoma City, you know what I'm saying? It's only right. Fuck it. Might get kitty with Giddy. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Might have to get kitty with Giddy.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. I ain't gonna touch it. UCapper bringing some good numbers. Says it's a situation that favors the under in this game, and the market thinks so too. So, Babano, do you agree that it's moving down in the right direction? And are you going with everyone else on the Utah Jazz today?
Yeah, I mean, I love my Oklahoma City Thunder, and I wasn't gonna bet them today, honestly, because I am concerned about double overtime the other night, and they didn't play a great game against Toronto. They're very lucky they won that because they didn't play good at all early. They kind of looked like they were asleep for most of that game. And they haven't done that a lot this year, Oklahoma City, where they look totally disengaged, like they were early in that game. But so. And they played a lot of minutes, but they did have the day off. It's just that the altitude is going to probably make things a little more difficult for them. But to me now at this number, I can only look at Oklahoma City. Do I love it? No. But as much as Utah's been impressive at home, 16-7, we do have to remember they lost to the Sixers without Embiid at home the last time they were here, 127-124. We also have to remember that outside of the Milwaukee game, which was a brutal spot for Milwaukee, and I really liked Utah Sunday night, but that was a different situation where we saw, Milwaukee on a back-to-back. Jazz took advantage of that. Milwaukee just absolutely ran out of gas in the fourth quarter, and Utah was able to win that game, 123-108. This is, to me, still there's a class difference. There's a gap between these two teams. Oklahoma City 35-15. Utah still just one game below 500. I haven't bet it, but I lean right now Thunder. The only thing that would concern me is the thin air and the altitude. You're playing that second game in 3 days when you play double OT, but I think the Thunder can handle it. And they've owned the Jazz. It's worth noting. They have completely owned this series. 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread for the Thunder, head-to-head over the Jazz in the last 5 meetings. They went to Utah about a few weeks ago. They were a 3-point road favorite. They won by 5, 134-129. I could see something similar, like a 5, 6, 7-point win, something like that. I think now the number is just too short for the better team. So the only ways I would play it are Thunder, and I would still play over. Now, I know the long-term trend for the unders makes sense coming off a game like that, but we bet numbers, all the not necessarily opinions. Like we want the over, we want the under, but the total and the number you're able to get is a big component. The fact that I can get as low as 238 now with a total that was 243, factoring in that the 2 meetings this year with the Thunder and the Jazz, one in December, one in January, you know how many points were scored in those games? 254 and 263. Way, way over the number. So I know that under long-term trend's good for the situation, but over or nothing for me.
All right, that's interesting. So market likes it down. Babano says it got a little bit too low. We're gonna go up.
Yeah.
I'm unsure. I'm unsure what to do with this game. I know lately they haven't been playing with as good of a pace as I would like. I don't trust the Jazz to play defense. I know that.
No.
Thunder sometimes they play defense, so I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Thunder team
Um,
total over. I think I could get there with that. Thunder team total over. Don't have to worry about -3 and don't have to worry about the full game over as much. I think they will score tonight on this Utah team. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a bad game against Toronto. Now, I don't know if he was trying to do his home country a favor there, trying to give the Raptors a chance to win that game. That's why he played bad. But he's not going to do that very often 2 games in a row. He'll probably play well tonight. I like his point prop over tonight, actually. Shai, over 31.5.
shocker.
Shocker, yeah.
Rolling with his Hamilton.
He's not going to have 2 shit
Hamilton
games
guy.
in a row. When have you seen that this year? You have
Like,
2 shit games. Yeah, hasn't happened.
can't see a
Dutch,
prop like.
Yeah.
talk to me.
I already talked about this shit, no?
He did.
You like the
Yeah.
Thunder?
Yeah, man. Leave me alone, man. No, I'm stuck with you.
I want to bet the Thunder. I want to bet the Thunder, but
I told you. I said it's big brother, little brother type shit. Level to this, and I think the over. There's value from what Bobano said. Both games went over 250. One went over 260. There's no way I'm betting the under, but I'll stay off because of.
Hey, Shai almost had the triple-double last game too.
The chat from UCapper and shit. I'll stay off, but
over or
yeah,
under, Wham Bam.
I'm taking the under, bro. I think it's all playoff vibes today, man. I think we're not gonna see that many points today in some of these games.
All right, I got to think about this one a little bit here, man. Guys liking a little bit of different stuff. Let's move on over to the last game on the slate, and that is 583, 584. We're looking at the Bucks and the Suns. Should be a good game to watch. Opened up Suns -2.5. They're 3.5-point favorites now. Total open 246. Surprisingly, comes down to 243. So I'll come to you again here, Dutch. Milwaukee has been ass. They've been losing since Glenn has come over there. Giannis looking like he's frustrated. Suns have been playing good basketball. They've been playing a lot better basketball than the Bucks. Can we take the Suns at this short number?
Yeah, man, I'm on the Suns here. I like the Suns. I honestly just think I don't like what I see out of Milwaukee. You know, I really don't. Yeah, they had their moment where they're down 20 plus against Dallas, and Dallas just found a way just to give it away at the crib. I was pretty shocked to see what happened. But this is a chance. You know, they have lost 3 straight to Milwaukee. So, you know, Milwaukee's handled them of late. So I would look for Phoenix to really take advantage here, kind of show that they are one of the echelon teams in the league, which we've questioned many a times this year because they haven't had the roster. I mean, the full roster, and they still don't have a point guard. So really, how far can Phoenix go? But I think this is kind of a KD Booker night, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, we know Milwaukee's very suspect from a defensive perspective, especially in the perimeter. So I would, when you have elite talent and you know, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and put Bradley Beal in that category as well from an offensive perspective, they're going to have trouble. They're going to have a lot of trouble stopping the Phoenix Suns. And then you got Nurkic down low to battle with Brook. Giannis should have his way, though. I would expect Giannis to really fill up the stat sheet tonight. I think Dame Time's questionable as well, but these boys have traveled, man. Like they've had a little bit of days off. Haven't been too many games but it's just like, bro, you got to travel. I mean, you start off. Let's bring it up here real quick. My fault. You start off, you know, you go to Denver, a tough place to play, you know, the altitude. Then you go all the way to Portland, and then you go to Utah, another tough place to play, as we just talked about. And, you know, and now you're going to Phoenix. And I think Phoenix is kind of out to prove something. You know, KD, you know, kind of get, you know, he's been a little hit. You know, he's a little sensitive. So hopefully we get the KD that we all know can show up tonight. I believe he will tonight against Giannis and Dame Time. I'm sure Dame will play. It's probably why the numbers went down a little bit here because I know it was at 4.5. People like Milwaukee tonight. I don't know how you could. I don't like anything I'm seeing now. The rumblings, as I talked about with Bobby Portis, he to me is like the toughness of that team. So I don't know if you know, like he's one of the better bench players in this league. So Maybe he's in the trade talks. They obviously got to do something because the roster just ain't right. But this is a perfect matchup for me, in my opinion, because you got elite offensive talent on one side, and you got really a team that doesn't play defense. So I would look for Phoenix to pretty much pick their number tonight. I think it's a double-digit win for the Suns tonight. Coming in hot, Phoenix Suns -3.5. It's good money, man.
Dutch, sound like you should have had an orange hoodie on today.
Yeah, man.
Bano.
I got the blue, orange. You know, it's kind of.
But Bano, he said, I forget exactly what he said, but he said basically the last thing he said sounds like it should be a lot of points in this game. The market, though, disagrees. Elite offense, bad defense. How does this one not get up over the total?
I think it does. And I could only take Phoenix too. I don't love Phoenix as much as Dutch for only one reason. And it's got nothing to do with Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I can't back them right now. And I won't. It's funny that they fire Adrian Griffin for going 32-14. How do you like your 1-3 under Doc Rivers? How's that? Chew on that for a bit. Not what you want to see. The only concern I have for Phoenix, and it's a very real concern, it's a grave concern. It is what makes me nervous about taking Phoenix, even though I lean that way. 7-game road trip, and you're back home for that first game off that road trip. That concerns me. That really, really does. That is long-term, not a spot that teams perform well in here in the NBA or NHL for that matter. And that's the only thing that would worry me a little bit about the Suns. And the Washington game, normally you would think the final game of that road trip, it's a bad Washington team, 140-112 didn't mean a thing. Meant a lot to Bradley Beal, didn't it? He went there and he had one hell of a game. He lit it up against that Washington team. I'm sure there was a little emotion for him going back to D.C., playing the Wizards for the first time. So, that ends up being the one factor that really does bother me enough with Phoenix, where this is either going to be a pass for me or a very small bet only on Phoenix. I mean, I don't want Milwaukee. I don't like anything I'm seeing out of the Bucks right now. There's nothing that could get me to back them, but there are things that make me a little concerned about backing Phoenix. So a small bet, if anything, on them, and I like the over. I like Booker and Durant both, I think. One of them is going to go over their point total. So I think you take both of them. You got a decent chance at the 2-0 with Durant and Booker here tonight. Beal had his game against Washington. Now it's Durant and Booker that probably take center stage tonight. And I like Lillard over points for Milwaukee.
Wham, bam, Bill. I mean, not Bill, but Booker and KD both have been put out the playoffs by the Greek Freak, as stated by our guy Nucky in the chat. Would you look at either one of them on their props? Or how are you viewing this Suns versus Bucks game?
This is definitely a kick a dog while they're down moment, I think, for the Suns. They definitely can apply pressure and apply pressure and win this game. And what we talked about hoping that Luka does tonight, they already done with Bill against his former team in Washington, allowed him to go crazy in 31 minutes, dropping 43 points. 6 assists, 21 attempts to 16 makes. So I think he is the key, bro, obviously, to make this big three work. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely, bigger than what we he's definitely hasn't succeeded or did anything that we expect him to do. It's been a lot of heavy lifting for the other two, like you said. And that's the reason why a lot of you guys haven't even mentioned Bill too much, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did just have his best game as a damn Sun, and then nobody would have given a damn because it was against his former team. We expect you to do that, bro. I think he got to do it again. And this is a team that, let's be real, their perimeter defense is definitely spotty, and he definitely can do the same thing. So I want to go Bill here, bro. That's the way I want to attack this game. I want to take Bill. I think that's the way they gotta play, bro. That's just the way I see them playing well. Like, he has to have 20 plus games every game. You know what I mean? And I think 20 plus, maybe to 30 type of game against a team that that's got a guy that's going through a divorce, a guy that doesn't know what the hell he doing as a leader. He's the leader. Let's be real. Greek Freak shouldn't be the leader. He could be the damn dominant guy. He could be like Shaq, but you know what I'm saying? It has to be a half-ass type thing. And I think Dame kind of got forced to this damn situation. You know what I'm saying? He going through some personal shit. He probably need to be out there in Magic City or some shit You know what I mean? He need to be on that type of time. And the boy Greek, man, I think he got the boy. I think some of the rumblings were a little bit true. I think he probably got that guy fired. And now that they got Doc in there, shady ass, who was fucking doing the dirtiest work behind the scenes here. Everything, God don't like ugly, bro. So I'm probably just gonna be betting against the Suns from here on out, just being in truthful, honest here. And I think this is a good spot to bet against him here. But I'm thinking just Bradley Beal here. Um, haven't bet this yet, but this is one of those games that I'm very sure once we start cashing out today with that under with Kyrie, I think we're gonna go right here with Bill to go 20 plus points and keep going over there with the ladder all the way to 30. I think Bradley Beal is the goal and the way to go. Make him attack these Damian Lillard. We've seen teams do it all year round against the Bucks. Attack Damian Lillard. You guys got to do the same thing. So I like Bradley Beal tonight.
When Bam says Bill gets it done as well. Man, I'm tired and I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie because I can't remember if we all touched this game. I think we did.
Yep.
Okay. We made it through every game on the slate. Made it through every game on the slate for today. And I'm not gonna lie, man. We barely even got any lines for tomorrow. We don't have to do too much. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm talking about one game for tomorrow myself. But we will do like we always do on Tuesday. And just quick little NBA look ahead. Is there anything, Ian, that you see that you want to shout out?
Yeah, just quickly, Toronto Charlotte's a pass for me. I don't want to bet either of those teams right now. So that's going to be the easiest stay away for me. Cleveland, Washington. I don't want to step in front of this Cleveland team. They're playing great. They cashed for me last night. Now, do I want to lay 8 on the road with them? I'm not sure, but it's probably Cleveland or pass there. Golden State, I'd probably look at them against Philly. Philly, I don't want to back without Embiid, and they haven't looked right yet without him. Until I see them look better, I would only look at the opponent when it comes to Philadelphia right now. San Antonio, look, I'd lean Spurs back-to-back for Miami. That's going to be an intense game tonight against Orlando, win or lose. So, it's definitely a good situation for San Antonio. I could maybe talk myself into taking the Spurs there, plus 7.5. We got no line for Atlanta, Boston. Pelicans and Clippers. Clippers back home off that long road trip. We talked about how worried I am maybe for Phoenix tonight in that spot. Might be a little worried for the Clippers, but how do you step in front of the Clippers? I can't believe how they still got it done. That was a brutal spot in Atlanta last night, and they still won, and they still covered against the Hawks. So not an easy team to get in their way right now, but that is a tough spot. First home game off a very long road trip for the Clippers. And then Detroit, Sacramento. Sacramento's coming back home, I think, off a road trip too. Pistons have been a little more competitive lately. I could see myself taking 11.5 points with Detroit in that spot tomorrow night. So that's what I'm looking at for Wednesday.
All right, good stuff from Ian. I'm going to pass it on over to my guy Wham Bam here. Anything catching your attention for Wednesday?
Pause, man. But I'm starting from the bottom, like I said before, man. He just came right there with it. The Pistons are 8-2 ATS in the first half, coming off that road trip. I'm definitely looking at the Pistons early in that game. It's going to be interesting, though, because we know that the trade deadline, a lot of these guys you want to keep an eye on that was on, trade discussions like Cade and things of that nature. Luckily for us, this is a later game. So we probably know if he's traded already or not by then. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? But I like that look a lot. And then from that other game for the Clippers, I'm gonna stay away from that game. I don't really have a strong opinion there. Nothing really strong opinion on a back-to-back spot for Miami, but I think they may be tired because I do think this is going to be a playoff style game. So maybe it's a San Antonio spot there. Boston, maybe just trouts Atlanta because again, it's going to be a lot of trade stuff going on with that game, I think. So I'm gonna stay away from that game. Golden State, Philadelphia, Kuminga ain't going wrong from us. So we got to take haircut Kuminga serious, take his props over, points over. He had 28 points last game. And then we got the mama play with the boy Kelly Oubre. We ain't going to tell our mama about it this time, but I think he is going to get over the 1.5 threes again. Kelly Oubre is probably a good play there as well. So Kuminga and Kelly Oubre stands out for that Golden State and Sixers game. And the other two, tricky as hell. I think Washington is tricky too. I think something I seen something about them as well that they were it was a good spot for them somehow. But I just went blank there, so I'm just leave it at that. Most likely it's gonna be Kuminga though. Kuminga sound like the best thing smoking right now, man. So don't even worry about that.
All right, and real quick, I'll just get mine out the way here. Sacramento minus 11.5? Absolutely fucking not. I am not laying 11.5 for Sacramento.
Off
I
a
will be
long
on the
road trip
Pistons.
too. Yeah.
No, negative. No, no way in hell I'm rolling with your favorite team there, Dutch. So on that note, I'll pass it on over to you. Anything catching your attention on the Wednesday slate?
Man, Pelicanos. All right, I got to break that whole motherfucker down with the bag in the morning. Check it out. Pelicanos, though. Pelicanos very appealing to me.
Good stuff. They are +6 right now. So that's
Yeah.
the look ahead for tomorrow. And like Dutch said, you can check him out with the bag in the morning. He'll be breaking those down bright and early. So we got through everything for today. We got the look ahead out the way. And now it's about that time where we look at how we're going to get paid today. So per usual, I'm sliding to my guy Wham Bam. Let the people know what's the best way to get paid.
I think Kyrie gets it done for us, and I do believe Luka Doncic does the right thing. So I think Kyrie Irving over 25.5 points, -126. It's the best play on the board for me, man. That's why we're gonna start off with the first play. Kyrie Irving over 25.5 points.
Good stuff. And I think that's a great play. Coming to you next here, Babano. I have a feeling you might be rolling with a total. We'll see if I'm right. How do you think the best way to get paid is?
I am indeed going to go to a total, and it's the last game we talked about. I lean Phoenix, but you're right. The off the road trip concerns me. And but another thing too is off the road trip, I could see their defense maybe being a little lackluster. And we know Milwaukee hasn't been able to stop hardly anybody this season, and trying to stop this Phoenix team offensively is going to be a challenge for them. So that's what we're going to rock with tonight. Let's go over 242.5 with Milwaukee and Phoenix. Best bet.
Great stuff. I'll go next. And for my best bet, the best number you can get right now, I see 213. Yeah, let's go 213.5 because that other number might be still 213.5 under Heat and the Magic. Gonna be a slow pace, more defensive, high intensity type game because it's an important game. So I talked about it all earlier. That's the best bet, the way to get paid from Skee. And last but not least, if I can get myself off the screen, we'll get on over to my guy, Dutch, and let the people know what the freshest look is today and take us home.
Yeah, man. The freshest look, it's only right. We go to South Beasy, -3, Miami Heat. It's good money. Believe it. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Appreciate all the real ones holding it down in the chat. Big Snake, PP Jet, that guy or cat. I see you. Saturated. Lucky Power in the motherfucking building. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share that video one more motherfucking time. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
Get those memberships.